Today, I'll be showing you tips and tricks for using the Jac Super Search on the library homepage. In this video, I'll show you the process for creating a search query from your research question, refining the search, using advanced search, evaluating the results, and getting help from a librarian. You can navigate to the library homepage from any San Jacinto College page by using the Quick Links drop-down menu in the upper right-hand corner of most San Jacinto College web pages. Click on Quick Links and select Libraries. The Jac Super Search is a great way to get an overview of what information you have access to about the topic or subject you're searching. It searches many of our databases at the same time, so you don't have to select a specific database or a specific discipline before getting started with your search. The search bar is made up of 3 sections. The first section, on the left, lets you choose how much of the library's resources you want to search. You can choose just books, just articles, just ebooks, or everything, which is all 3 formats. The middle section is where you type in your search query, and the Submit button is on the right. Unlike commercial search sites, putting your search in the form of a question will not give you great results. You'll want to use keywords or phrases instead. Let's turn a question into a search query. You might start out by wondering whether single-use plastic is bad for the environment. You'll want to make some adjustments to turn that thought into a search query. First, is single-use plastic bad for the environment is a yes or no question, or what is called a closed question. You'll get a wider variety of information if you change it to an open question. How is single-use plastic bad for the environment? However, this question shows a bias, and if you search with a question like this, you might get a lot of answers that agree with the bias of the question, but not a full overview of the topic. Instead of asking whether single-use plastic is bad for the environment, consider asking about the effects or impact of single-use plastic on the environment. Remember, though, that library database searches shouldn't be in the form of a question, so the next step is to turn this question into a set of keywords. What are the important words in your question? Those are what you want to focus on: single-use plastic or plastics, the environment. Remember, though, that library database searches shouldn't be in the form of a question, so the next step is to turn this question into a set of keywords. What are the important words in your question? Those are what you want to focus on: single-use plastic, the environment. Since you're focusing on single-use plastic, you need a way to tell the Super Search to look for that phrase. When you put quotation marks around the phrase, you're telling the database to look for those specific words next to each other. You're specifically interested in the effects on the environment, so you want to include the word environment in your search. You want all the results to include both elements, so you will put the word "and" in between. That's a good start. Hit enter and see what you get. No matter what information you're searching for, you'll want to refine the search in some way. Before refining the search, take a quick look at the number of results you have. They are automatically sorted in relevance order based on the search algorithm's interpretation of your search. You can also sort the results from oldest to newest or newest to oldest. For now, you can leave the results in relevance order. The left side of the page is where you find most of your options for refining the search. The Super Search defaults to searching for full text, which means that you will have access to the entire article, not just information about the article. Most of the time, the full text is available instantly right from this page, but sometimes you might have to contact a librarian for help getting the full text. If you're working on a project and the professor has stated that your sources need to be academic, scholarly, or peer-reviewed, click Scholarly Peer-Reviewed Journals. Wait a second to let the search results page refresh after each change you make here. You can limit the results by date of publication, which is useful if you're working on a project about a topic where information gets outdated quickly. Now you can quickly scan the results and see whether you're getting the kinds of resources that will be useful for you. You might consider adding the phrase disposable plastics to your search just in case that makes a difference. I want to tell the search to look for single-use plastics or disposable plastics. If I use an asterisk in place of the S at the end of plastics, I'm telling the search engine to look for plastic, plastics, or any other version of the word that starts with plastic. The quotation marks tell the search engine to look for the exact phrase. I can just change the search in the basic search line, but here I want to show you what's going on with this query. I'm clicking Advanced Search, which takes me to this page. Note that it already has the search I submitted, but it does not have the filters. I want the first line to be single-use plastic or disposable plastic. Each individual phrase is in its own quotation marks. The next line is environment. I don't need to select a field. This search defaults to keyword when the user doesn't select a specific area to search. Some other options you might find useful when doing other searches is to choose to search just authors or titles. Experiment as you're doing searches to see what effect changing this filter has on your results. The search engine automatically searches for the words in the first line and the second line, but I can also tell it not to include certain words. Or I can use the word "or" to tell it that I want to search multiple variants. "Or" has the same function it has in the first line of this search. Before I hit search, I want to add those filters from before, for scholarly journals and for any date restrictions I want to set. When I scan the results page, I'm looking at a few specific things. I look at the number of results. If I don't think there are enough choices, I can broaden my search. For example, I can remove a keyword and see how that affects my results. If there are too many choices, I can make my search more specific, perhaps by searching for results that only mention certain countries, like the United States, or certain areas, like oceans. If I like the number of results I got, I quickly evaluate the titles. I scroll past titles that I think are too specific or too broad or that I can't comprehend. I want to choose resources I can understand, especially while I'm still learning about a subject. Next, I look at the date. Since the search is sorted by relevance by default, the top matches for my search query might be older. Then I look at the number of pages. A half page will almost certainly be too short. 100 pages will probably be too long. The more you read academic peer-reviewed scholarly articles, the better sense you will get for a length that works for you. I like somewhere between 8 and 25 pages. Then I look at the database name. This helps me get a sense of what databases might be most likely to work for me. I like it when I can tell right away that I have instant full-text access. The HTML or PDF icon tells me instantly that I have full-text access. The PDF will show the article exactly as it was published in print. Once I see an interesting title that is published within my time frame and is a good length, I look at the abstract and subjects. The abstract is a summary, usually written by the authors of the paper. It will tell you information like what the research question was, what kind of survey or experiment they used, how many people were involved. The subjects list tells me if the thing I searched is an actual subject of the paper or just something the writers mentioned in passing or in a background. Sometimes I get ideas from the subject list for other terms I can search for. Depending on which database the article is in and whether the article is available in full text instantly, the information page could include the whole article, scroll down, or links to the article in PDF on the left. In some cases, the link to the article will be with the information. If you're off campus or using guest Wi-Fi on campus, you'll be prompted to log in with your name and G number to see the full article. The Jac Super Search is available on both desktop and mobile. If you need help with finding, accessing, or citing information in this or any other database, please ask a librarian for help. Anytime the libraries are open, you can use the instant chat box on the library homepage to get immediate help from a librarian. Type your question into the box and a librarian will reply shortly. The Ask a Librarian link takes you to an online form you can fill out to get help. You can fill out this form at any time of day or night, and a librarian will get back to you the next time we're open. Happy searching!